Is it for the first time in India that any union territory has demanded a full statehood? The answer is, of course, no. Today, Ladakh is demanding that we should be converted from a union territory, which Ladakh has been since 2019, to a full state. Now, let me tell you, this is not the very first time. Previously, there have been numerous instances when a particular area, which used to be a union territory, was converted into a full state. Case in point, I take an example of Mizoram. I take the example of Tripura. And there are many more states which previous to become a state were a union territory. But why did I take example of Mizoram and Tripura only? Let me tell you, Mizoram and Tripura are the states today, but previously they were union territories. And why I talked about them only, the reason is that they are having 6th schedule status. Now 6th schedule status means these states have got certain zones, certain areas which are declared as tribal areas. 6th schedule status means tribal status. Now Ladakh is also demanding one more thing other than being declared a full state. Ladakh is demanding that we must be declared a 6th schedule state the way Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura are. The point is that Ladakh has 97% population which is tribal population. Now an area which has got 97% people who are tribal, when asking for a 6th schedule status or a tribal area status, that is not very much surprising, that is not very much unjustified. And so is the case with Ladakh. Why Ladakhis are asking that Ladakh should be declared a full state? The point is that once you declare an area a state, then the hold of center on the decision making of that area will come down, and the local people, through local people means the Ladakhis, they will have more say in making the laws and implementing the laws. एक बार किसी एरिया को आपने स्टेट बना दिया तो वो एरिया अपने लिए काफी सारे एरियाज में लॉ मेकिंग भी कर सकता है और उन लॉज को इंप्लीमेंट भी करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल पुलिस, फॉर एग्जाम्पल हेल्थ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लैंड. तो लद्दाख भी ये चाहता है कि वो अपनी डेवलपमेंट खुद करें. मतलब जब वो स्टेट बन जाएगा तो इन एरियाज में खुद लॉ बनाकर अपने हिसाब से वो अपनी डेवलपमेंट कर सकते हैं. सो दैट स्ट्रेंथन्स द आइडिया ऑफ फेडरलिज्म इन इंडिया, बिकॉज इंडिया इज basically a federal country. Federalism is the basic structure of Indian constitution. So when Ladakh is demanding statehood, what may eventually get strengthened is the idea of federalism and also the idea of democracy, because the local people, the Ladakhis who are living there, they are well aware of the problems of Ladakh and they may be knowing how to solve them. God forbid tomorrow there is a disaster in Ladakh, natural disaster, then the local people are in a better position to handle the situation. But for that they need some autonomy, some decision making power, some law making power, a legislature, and everything can come when they will be declared a state. However, let me warn you that it's not that easy that anybody can ask for statehood and center declares them state. There are certain constraints, and one of the most important constraint here is the security constraint and strategy constraint. Ladakh is a very sensitively placed area. China is always having an eye on Ladakh, so just declaring them state will give them much autonomy, and the control of center over that area may come down, and that can cost the security of not only Ladakh but the whole of India. So it's a very sensitive decision which can be taken after much mutual and detailed discussion. Now let me tell you, the discussions are going on. On one hand, there is Government of India represented by Ministry of Home Affairs. On other hand, there are two main bodies which are representing the interest of Ladakhis. One is the Leh Apex body and the other is Kargil Democratic Alliance. Now Leh and Kargil, right now they are the two districts of Ladakh, and Leh is dominated by a Buddhist population and Kargil is dominated by a Muslim population. But in spite of this difference of religion, both Leh and Kargil, they are raising these common demands And these common demands are majorly the four demands. One, they want the complete statehood. Other, they want sixth schedule status, the way Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura have got. The third demand is that Ladakh is right now represented in Lok Sabha by only one MP. पूरे लद्दाख को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए एक ही एमपी है, और लद्दाख इस समय ज्योग्राफिकली लद्दाख इज द लार्जेस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी इन लोकसभा. मतलब वो जो एक एमपी है वो इतने बड़े एरिया को रिप्रेजेंट करता है जो कोई और एमपी नहीं करता. नाउ आई कैन नॉट रिप्रेजेंट सच अ बिग एरिया, सो दीज पीपल आर सेइंग फॉर बेटर रिप्रेजेंटेशन देयर शुड बी मोर एमपीज इन Lok Sabha, and if tomorrow it becomes a state, in Rajya Sabha also. So the people of Ladakh are expecting more representation in parliament, Lok Sabha, और कल को स्टेट बन जाएगा तो राज्यसभा के अंदर भी. अभी सिर्फ एक ही एमपी है, वो चाहते हैं कम से कम 2 एमपी हो. The fourth major demand of Ladakhi people right now is that they want a separate public service commission. वो चाहते हैं कि उनका अपना एक public service commission हो which regularly brings out notification for employment under the Ladakhi administration. And those jobs must largely be reserved for the local people, so that local people can have access to those jobs. Otherwise, they may not be in a position to come to the far off areas and take jobs. So let the people of Ladakh take the jobs in Ladakh. But who will bring out the examination notification? Who will do the recruitment and all? That is the reason they are expecting a separate public service commission in Ladakh. So these are the 4 major demands the people of Ladakh are raising, but unfortunately these demands eventually have led to a day when there was a violence. 24th September, there was a violence in Ladakh, unprecedented, because Ladakh is largely a peaceful area, and the result is that security forces had to fire upon the protesters. 4 people lost life. That's very unfortunate. And now Sonam Wangchuk, which has been a face of this protest, his NGO, Government of India, has cancelled the FCRA license of Sonam Wangchuk NGO, and thus he will not be in a position to accept foreign contribution without this license. Now we just hope and pray that Ladakh soon returns to peace and the genuine demand of the local people are met, along with ensuring the security and the interest of the whole India, the whole nation. As I said that an area can ask for statehood, but when you declare an area state, then center may lose some influence over that area, and sometime for strategic and security reasons, that is not good in the larger run. Let's hope that there is a solution found after respectful mutual discussion between Government of India and the organizations representing Ladakhis and Ladakh's interest. Thank you very much.